Hello again, Conce. Just a quick video on basically like how to farm all the important stuff during the Halloween fest. To clarify, I'm not going to be going over like the individual drops, like, you know, the buff layered set, for example, you know, which quest to do to get what, because those are all fairly easy to just look up at the event quest schedule. What I'm really talking about now are things like, you know, fuel for celestial prints, for safi weapons, and, you know, decorations and that kind of thing, sort of all of the long-term grinds. I can do a video on like what quests drop around if people are interested, but I don't know if it's going to be very useful. I will mention though, get the Assassin's Creed mantle and upgrade it if you haven't already, as it's really good for like gathering runs and, you know, Flora, frostbite and stuff like that. But anyway, also I'm going to mention like a whole bunch of old videos in this one because I've talked about a lot of these things in individual videos. So think of this as like a hub video for, you know, linking you to all the various videos that show off how to farm stuff. But anyway, yeah, let's get to it. I know I said I wasn't going to go over the individual drops, but I guess I'll go over the Fright tickets just to show you that because they are kind of unique. You can see you get these tickets from, you can get the regular version of these tickets from doing your bounties, your daily bounties, and as well as your login bonus. So be sure to do those, and then you can spend them at the armory to make this Demon Lord set over here. This is obviously going to be exclusive to the fest, so make sure you grab it if you haven't already, especially the layered. To get the layered, you're going to need VIP tickets, and as you can see from the set bonuses on screen now, this is how you get them. Special Fright tickets basically is referring to the VIP tickets that you get. You'll get them regardless by just doing quests over time. However, by having this set equipped, you'll have an increased rate of them. So it's basically up to you. You can either farm them really slowly by just like you know, doing regular quests and building up VIP tickets over time. Alternatively, you can equip this set and then do a bunch of gathering quests that are really quick. And I guess we'll talk about two of those examples now. So this is gathering event quest number 1 that you'll want to do during the fest. It is Flora Frostbite. You see me sort of do as quick a run as I possibly can muster here. Don't worry about the optimizations too much. It's fairly easy to do this in under half a minute. It's primarily for low rarity decorations, the rare 10 ones, which are nice for melding fodder and other stuff, but it also helps you build up like research points. You can add skills in your set to benefit that need for the food skills and stuff. It's good for research points, it's good for Zenny, it's good for farming MR, it's good for quite a few things, although again, primarily it's for the low rarity decorations. You'll want to obviously bring Geologist and Botanist to make the gathering easier. And aside from that, you're going to want to bring like the Kieran set bonus or maybe the VIP set bonus, depending on what exactly you're farming for. You can also get both. You can get the 3P set bonus on both if you have a safi weapon with Kieran Essence or Woken on it. As you can see, extremely quick quest. Drops a couple of decorations per round. We only got one this time because we got unlucky and we didn't get any tickets, but you know, that's how RNG crumbles. It's fine. This is a really quick quest to farm. The second event quest you'll want to farm is this one over here, a fish to whet your appetite. It is primarily for Blade Masters. If you do play Blade Master and you haven't farmed the shit out of this quest already, you definitely want to do it. You start at the camp that I've started on Wildspire Waste, and you can actually grab 2 of these fish half the time. Unfortunately, my aim was a little bit bad. If you mess up and you only catch 1 fish, then you're going to want to fly to the other camp. And yeah, I mean, I've done a video on this. I'll probably have it linked. I also have a video on Flora Frostbite, so I'll probably have that linked in the description too for like optimizing the quest as much as possible. Oh, additionally, I actually have a quest on automating Flora Frostbite too. So if you want to set that to go overnight, then that can also be if you're on PS4, that can be a nice thing to do. But yeah, you grab these quests. These are for the Whetfin pluses. As you can see, I'm using one now, and it gives you a single swipe sharpen. I don't have any speed sharpen on the set. Basically, it has built-in speed sharpen 3, and it doesn't use them up every time as well. It's a statistical chance that it uses them up, and so they last quite a while. Yeah, these are pretty much essential if you want to play like dual blades or basically anything that uses protective polish. And you can see the rewards again. We got some decorations. Well, only one in this case, but you can get more. A bunch of the Whetfins and the Whetfin pluses. Primarily, you want the pluses, as well as some other random junk too. Some low rarity decorations too, similar to Flora Frostbite. And again, obviously, you'll be getting the VIP tickets if you bring the VIP ticket set to this quest. There is an event quest with Zenoga. It is called A Farewell to Zenoga. It is only out for the first few days of the fest. You'll want to farm this for Dragon Vein coal. This is a new quest that drops the coals that you use for Steamworks. It's pretty good. I did a video on this earlier. However, I'm going to come up with a follow-up on that because I think there are ways to really increase the rate at which you drop them. However, of course, you know, the quest is going to leave soon, so it might not be that useful. As you can see, we got the chunk and we got the regular coal. That's 500 and 100 fuel respectively. And you can also get the newest tier, which is the large. I don't know what it's called. It's the purple one. That gives you 1,000 per drop too. Don't worry that I'm leaving this quest early. This was just to show you the shiny drops. Obviously, you're going to want to finish it. I've done a specific video on this quest, so take a look at that. And keep an eye out for the follow-up on effectively grinding it. I've also done a video on the grinding lands, the exploit with mining that you can use to farm around 50,000 fuel per hour. It's the same as this method actually, the same drop rates overall, around 50,000 an hour. And in fact, if you are on PS4, I have a method to completely automate the farming of that overnight, which again I'll link in the description. But you can set that to run overnight and it will farm Steamworks fuel for you in the guiding lands. Now you might be wondering why I'm telling you to farm Steamworks fuel during this fest. And that is because during the fest you have increased drop rates, or not even increased drop rates, you have an increased loot pool that has things like the steel, silver and golden decoration melding tickets. We'll talk about why you want those in a second, but for now, if you use the fuel farming method, I have a video on like save scumming the Steamworks to sort of make your fuel go as far as possible. If you combine that with the ×10 output mode that you can use to sort of dramatically increase your rates, if you then basically, you know, hold down the right trigger or hold down spacebar or use a rubber band or whatever for 20 minutes at a time, you go do some chores, you know, you go do a laundry or you go grocery shopping or whatever, and you come back, and if you've gotten the rare drops that you want, you save, and if you haven't, then you reset without saving. If you do that, you can farm celestial prints and gold melding tickets really efficiently in terms of fuel and time usage. And of course, you'll get all of the other drops, all of the steam and all of the silver melding tickets, all of those simultaneously alongside that. Now, why would I recommend farming this? Well, there's a few reasons. We'll start off with the least important, which is the steam tickets that you get. You can use these to farm basically any of the consumables that you can see here in the melding NPC. Not the monster parts, obviously, but you can see you can trade steam tickets for like Dust of Life, for demon powders, for dash juice, for mega demon drug, for pretty much like all of the important consumables. You can swap steam tickets in for, and so then this is a really nice way of farming those and making sure that you're basically set for life in terms of these resources. We then have the absolute abundance of steel melding tickets that you get from this method. You get them in like the thousands if you farm a decent amount of fuel. This nice thing about the steel melding tickets is, first of all, they give you all the rare 6 decorations from base world. So obviously if you happen to be missing any of them, then that's nice. But barring that, the real reason that I think these are quite handy is because of the new decorations that they added to the direct melding. You can see I'm coming to them now. Elementless, as well as things like Mighty Bow, Guard Up, and the new like Shaver Jewel for the Tenderize boost. All of these, you can see they consume like 5,000 points sometimes, 3,000, 4,000. A lot of decorations are required to make these things. And for me personally, I've done analysis on the drop rates. Again, I'll probably have that linked in the description or something. But basically, farming steel melding tickets for this purpose is an extremely efficient way to do it because you just get so many of them for melding fodder. Silvers as well, but we'll talk about that more in a second. So I've done a video on what these silver melding tickets drop, but basically it is the important decorations from base world, barring like Mighty Bow and the stuff that you saw that can be crafted above. You can see we're getting like rare 8s, rare 9s, you're getting agitators, weakness exploits, we're getting attack boost, we're getting crit boost, we're getting like spread up, we're getting pierce up, we're getting paracoating, we're getting free element, all of the important base world jewels basically. You get them from silver melding tickets. Golden melding tickets, on the other hand, are for slightly higher rarity decorations. They are for the rare 10 ones and occasional rare 11s. Again, I've done a video on what exactly these can drop, and so maybe I'll link that in the description or what, but it's basically rare 10 and a certain subset of the rare 11 decorations. So it's going to be really nice if you happen to be missing some of those. Additionally, they're really good melding fodder, especially the silver melding tickets. They're worth a lot. The astral tickets, unfortunately, are from the Rajang quest only, so you won't be able to find them during the fest because they did not bring that quest back. The Tempered Furious Rajang in the arena. Yeah, unfortunately that's not here anymore. And if you weren't aware, they added Soul Stream 3, which can let you make sealed feystones using your spare decorations, and so then the silver tickets are really nice for this, in my opinion. You know, all those extra crit boosts and shit that you're going to be getting are actually worth quite a few points towards making these sealed feystones. Yeah, so this can be a nice way to find them if you have a decent abundance of research points and Elder Spirit Vein bones. And if you don't happen to have research points, then you use the same method that I linked for the coal farming in the Guiding Lands, but you do it for bonds instead of mining nodes, and it works in exactly the same way, except you just farm research points instead of coal. And the most useful drop from Steamworks, and the reason I recommend it so highly, remember 10 times mode will get you 10 of these celestial prints at a time if you use the saves coming properly. You can make basically all of the rare drops in the game aside from Fatalis' one using the celestial prints. That includes golden dragon's fires and Zionium crystals, as well as things like immortal reactors, Rajang hearts. So if you need, you know, large elder dragon gems for your Fatalis set, then you can make them like this without having to farm, you know, Raging Brachy or Teostra for the ledges or whatever. You can make Zionium crystals, which are Safi Jiva's reward, and you can make the Kulve rewards too. And you can use these both in their respective meldings. So you can see I can make the Zionium crystals using celestial prints. Again, I've done a video on this and I'll link it. But you can use these Zionium crystals, you can make them from celestial prints and then trade them in for Safi weapons, which you can then convert into Dracolite. And again, I have a video on like an exploit for maximizing your Dracolite. This really is just a hub video, basically. I'll link that in the description maybe if I can be bothered to find these all. Yeah, and so same thing with the Kulve. You can meld as many Kyo weapons as you like using these Kulve pieces. These are really handy ways to make these pieces, especially if the monster isn't actually active at the moment. Like if you need Safi weapons but the Safi siege isn't active, then feel free to go and mine some fuel and make some celestial prints. And just to clarify, you can also use the dragon's fires that you make here to upgrade the Kulve weapons. That said, the melding of Kulve weapons and of safi weapons will require you to have at least beaten the quests once each. So I don't know, find a multiplayer team, or I don't know, drop by my stream or something sometime, and get it done with some of the people in the lobby. Yeah. Oh, also I should mention, like, I get most of this footage live at https twitch.tv/conzoa. I don't know why I said the https there. So you should check me out and maybe give me a follow on Twitch if you find any of this stuff useful. But yeah, you can make all of this stuff at the you can use all of these resources even outside of the thing, if so long as you've beaten the monsters at least once each. For Great Spirit Vein gems, which you'll need for augmenting your armor and your weapons, we have obviously got Auto Destruction, the pretty much go-to quest for those materials, at least before the Astral Ridge was here. That isn't here at the moment, so yep, Tempered Rune Energy in the Origin Isle. I've got a video on farming that with Aerial Hammer, so maybe consult that if you want, or use whatever your preferred matchup is. And that's a nice way to farm the Great Spirit Vein gems. Methods to farm regular grinding land monsters, you know, Tempered Namiel for your health augment, stuff like that, those can all wait until after the fest because they're not on a timed exclusive basis. I do have a video planned to come out for those. I've been planning to make it for like 6 months, a nice farming method. I never really got around to it. Hopefully that'll come out fairly soon, but yeah, that can wait for after the fest. For decorations, we obviously have Tempered Zinogre, the Wrath of Thunder Descends. It was pretty much the go-to sealed faystone farming quest for the longest time. That has changed recently, and that is with the advent of the 3 Tempered Elder quests in the Siege area where you fight Velkhana in the story. And there are these 3 over here, the Tempest Wake, we've got a Tempered Kushala, we've got Tempered Tiastra, and you can see these are all in the, and obviously Tempered Luna, these are all in the Celiana supply crate. Cache. I've done videos on all 3 of these quests. I would probably recommend Kushala though, because it's really easy to spread HPG stunlock it. Again, I'm a broken record at this point, but I have a video explaining to you how to take your own spread HPG build and work out exactly how many shots and how the timing works for stunlocking Kushala. So I'll link that in the description below. It's a really easy, you know, 3 or 4 minute, and you get like 3 or 4 sealed feystones per run. So that's a really good farm quest for farming quest. Farming sealed feystones. And you can just take like an ice charge blade to Tiostra if you want something a little bit more interesting. Also, I've heard this quest here, We 3 Kings, is good for MR grinding. Although, to be honest with you, I never really like went out of my way to specifically grind MR by doing a single quest. So, I don't know. Personally, I would grind all the other stuff that we've talked about today that you need. And in the process, you'll probably have built up your MR fairly significantly anyway. But if you do need a quick fix of MR, then maybe give this quest a shot. But I don't know, don't quote me on that because I'm not super up to date on the MR farming methods. And that's all I really had to say. I guess I'll give a cheeky little TLDR of all the stuff we covered. We talked about the Fright tickets and farming the VIP tickets, which you're going to need for like layered sets and other stuff right at the start. And then we moved on to talking about sort of doing the 2 event quests to farm those VIP tickets as well as other materials. We have Flora Frostbite for low rarity decorations, research points, and MR. And we have the Wetfin quests for, you know, Wetfins. Wetfin pluses if you play Blade Master, which are really handy. We then moved on to talking about the Zinogre event quest and the Guiding Lands fuel methods to get Steamworks fuel. Which can be automated, by the way. And then we talked about how that Steamworks fuel can be used to farm Steam tickets, Steel tickets, Silver tickets, Gold tickets, and Celestial prints. We talked about why the Steam tickets are good for farming regular resources, why the Steel tickets are nice for the new decos that they added, like a Mighty Bow and Shave, Claw Boost, stuff like that. We talked about what the Silver and Gold tickets can drop and whether they're useful or not, and also how to use the prints to get first of all, random materials like Immortal Reactors, but also, you know, Safi and Kulve weapons and upgrades, assuming you've beat the quest once each. And then lastly, we talked about some of the resource-specific event quests. So we had Auto Destruction for Great Spirit Vein gems, and we had the Tempered Zinogre and Tempered Elder quests for sealed feystones, and lastly we had We 3 Kings for MR, which I believe is a good MR, but question, I'm not 100% sure about that one. Yeah, so there we go. We basically covered how to farm pretty much every major resource in the game while the fest is up. So half of these methods will still work while the fest is down. You can still do like Celestial Print farming and stuff, and Guiding Lands fuel farming while the fest is down. But obviously stuff like you know, Silver prints and Steel prints and stuff like that, and all of these event quests for the sealed feystones, those are limited time to the events, to the fest rather. So hopefully I've covered everything. Do let me know if you have any questions. I'm sorry for all of the times I basically shilled other videos, but I've covered everything here in more detail in separate videos. So hopefully that's helpful for anybody who needs the specifics on anything. If I haven't linked all the videos in the description, let me know and I'll hopefully be bothered to do it. Alright, I love you guys. Bye.